Cheers. Thanks, Chair. Good morning. Look, in a prior Senate hearing with the RBA said they weren't responsible for the supply side of the economy, yet their interest rate increases has sent over 2,000 building companies broke, reducing supply of housing at a time of record immigration due to Treasury's Big Australia policy. Higher interest rates are also forcing small business into bankruptcy as well as further reducing supply. In short, rapid increases in interest rates is actually making inflation worse because it's reducing supply as well as imposing austerity. Now, given that the RBA doesn't want to deal with the supply side of the economy, what is Treasury doing to fix the supply side of the economy? And I note this morning in your speech you didn't mention the word building infrastructure once. So, yeah, could you answer that question, please, in regards to how are you going to add more infrastructure and stuff to supply essential services to match the increasing population that we've got?
One of the difficulties of increasing the supply side is that, unlike demand measures, it is difficult to do it quickly for precisely the reasons you're raising, Senator. That is, you might require additional infrastructure, and let's sit on that issue for a moment. There is a very big infrastructure pipeline sitting with the states at the moment. I mentioned in my opening remarks the difficulty of us getting through the housing pipeline when clearly we would like to see more dwellings being built. The RBA doesn't have policies around skilling more people, enabling firms to get on, the regulatory settings around which firms might face to get on and do their business. They have an instrument that works primarily through demand and slowing demand to match supply, and that's what they're trying to do in managing inflation. So our advice to government on the supply side is around skilled workforces, in appropriate regulatory settings, for example, for businesses to be able to get on with things, and a range of other policies more broadly in that from that perspective.
Okay, thank you. And last question. So, in regards to the fact that the states are largely responsible for building infrastructure, as you know, there's two ways to issue capital. You can either go out and source debt or bonds, or you can actually issue new shares, which is what a lot of corporations do. Right. What I want to know is why does the Treasury allow states to go and borrow foreign dollars, US dollars that are printed off the Federal Reserve's printing press out of thin air, rather than issuing new shares in infrastructure bank for sovereign assets that can be, whereby the federal government has an infrastructure bank that lends, and this has been done in the past, that lends to state governments? Because right now state governments have got more, for the first time in Australia's history, their combined debt will be more than the federal government's combined debt. And shouldn't the federal government be looking at using capital, just in the same way corporations issue shares, instead of relying on foreign debt, which is only sending us further into poverty?
We've had some good chats about this issue in the past, some time ago, but and look, to be honest, it's a deep and wide issue, but I'll give you one short answer on the approach from the state side, and that is that they're sovereign, and so they have the capacity to issue debt in their own right, and they do through bonds, and that's been the.
But they're sourcing a foreign government's currency, not our currency.
Senator Rennick, have you concluded your answer?
I think I have concluded. Yeah.
Okay.
Authorised G. Rennick, LNP Chermside.